I love Doris Day, and having now watched every single one of her films, slightly a little broken-hearted, but that is eased a little bit. The fact that I've now started to watch the Doris Day show. I'm one episode into it. So far, absolutely love it. I don't plan on discussing every single episode. There are over 100 episodes. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I thought I'd discuss this first episode, and then maybe once I've watched the entire thing, do a kind of reflective review discussing the series as a whole and see how my thoughts compare to what they do now. If you're a fan of the show, if you've seen the show, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Please no spoilers for what happens further down the line. But I will say that this is, as far as I can recall, the oldest sitcom I've ever watched. This first episode aired in September 1968. I don't believe I've seen a sitcom from the 60s. And I wasn't sure what to expect because of that. But this first episode was a really fun introduction. It's called Dinner from Mom. Mom sounds ridiculous coming out of my mouth with my accent. But we get introduced to Doris Martin, played of course by Doris Day. And it's her birthday. And it begins with her getting ready, and her boys, her two sons, are taking her out for dinner. Her sons are Billy and Toby, played by Philip Brown and Todd Starke. Not 100% sure how old they are. I think they're maybe like 9 and 7, give or take. And they decide to treat their mother to a very nice, swanky dinner. But when they get to this restaurant, it's anything but nice and swanky. I'm not going to spoil it too much in case you do decide to watch it, and I thoroughly recommend you do. But while they're there, things just keep going wrong in a very kind of nail-biting way. And what makes it hilarious, as is usually the case with her comedies, is Doris Day's facial expressions. Her facial expressions are some of my favourite, and that's definitely the case here. But I love watching her getting deeper and deeper into these very hilarious problems, while still being a brilliant mother and setting a good example for her sons. Almost setting a good example. There is one thing that she did that was maybe not the most morally sound, but obviously trying to not just announce the problem to everybody. She's trying to do the right thing, and it's just one thing after another, and it's very fun. We do get to see, it's not all just set in that one restaurant. We do get to see back at the house when she phones home. Aggie is a character I'm really looking forward to finding out more about. She's played by Fran. I'm not too sure what she's going to be like as a character, but I feel like she's going to be an exceptionally funny character. She kind of reminds me of like maybe Berta from Two and a Half Men, that kind of not actually central to the family unit in a way, but also a source of a lot of hilarity. So I feel like that's where that character's going. With regards to the rest, I don't know what to expect, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I found it funny. And I don't know why, but I wasn't really expecting to find it that funny. I have a particular taste with sitcoms. I like what I like, I know what I don't like. And despite the fact that this is Doris Day, I wasn't sure the narrative style would be what I was looking for. But it was. It absolutely was. Que Sera Sera is the main soundtrack for this particular episode. I'm not sure if that's the case throughout, but that's something that I have obviously really enjoyed. This episode's directed by Bob Sweeney, written by Dick Bensfield, Perry Grant, with Sidney Morse as the story editor. This first episode was an absolute delight. I am desperate to see the rest. Unfortunately, it's not the cheapest. I bought the box set, import. Not the cheapest at all, but hopefully worth every penny. If the rest fits as good as this first episode, definitely in for a treat.